everybody, and welcome back to another one of our fabulous fortnightly cook-alongs. So I haven't seen you this year, so Happy New Year to all of you, and can't believe we're about to lose January and move into February, which is scary. For all of you with school-aged children, congratulations if you managed to get them back already this week, and some going back. Mine don't go back till Monday, which is a bit of a shame, but anyway. But yes, we're nearly there, so looking forward to hearing where you're all coming from tonight, and I love the fact that we get so many overseas visitors as well coming in and having a look at our beautiful and fun cook-alongs. So, you know, jump on, tell us where you're tuning in from tonight. We are recording, so hello to those that are watching our re-recording of our cook-along tonight, and we're doing some beautiful chicken San Choy Bau. Now, I'm using chicken, but I did say in the recipe that you could use pork fillets or you could use some green prawn meat if you like, and that's great. If you're going to use the green prawn meat, I wouldn't chop it up in here like I'm going to with the chicken. I would actually just really quickly hand chop that into pieces. So I'll get to that and I'll repeat that when I get to there for anyone that hasn't jumped on yet. But I'll give you another minute or so to jump on. But tonight we did mention we're going to use our Food Pro first, and then we're going to move on to using our stainless steel bowl. So we need to, I'll just do the details sitting on my shoulder, you know, look professional, don't I? So we need to make sure that you've got both things ready to go, and we are on the move. So I'll give you another minute and then we'll get going. So let us know where you're from. We've got Rose there answering your questions, which is great. Thanks, Rose. We're, you know, if you miss anything as we go, Rose has got the method that she can add and update you with as well. But of course, you can always watch a re-recording. We'll also pop up the instructions or the method and the ingredients for you as well, so that you've got all of that. So I think we might get started. So what are we? We're almost 2 minutes past, so I think we might get going. So let's just talk about quickly what we've got in terms of our ingredients. We're going to start with our garlic, our ginger, our chilli and our shallots, and that's what I'm going to dice in the mini bowl in our food processor. So I'm going to get that nice and little, then we're going to transfer that into our stainless steel bowl, and we're going to chop our chicken or our pork or whatever you know protein you decided to go with in our large bowl, and then we're going to move into the cooking with our Cook Expert. So I haven't done a lot of pre-prep. Hopefully you've all cooked your rice. So I did say in the instructions 1 cup of cooked rice, which is about half a cup of raw rice. So if you're cooking your rice, do it from raw. Half a cup turns into about a cup of rice. We've also got some soy, some oyster sauce and some lime juice, which I've mixed in together as well. We've got our chestnuts and our baby corn spears. If you don't like some of the ingredients, then just leave them out. It's completely up to you. I really like the extra texture and that chunkiness with the corn stems and with the water chestnuts as well. I've also got our lettuce leaves or lettuce cups ready to go. So Iceberg is the best lettuce I've found for doing things like San Choy Bau. If you at some stage tonight need to start pulling those lettuce cups away from the actual Iceberg lettuce, the best way to do it is to cut the end off it and run sort of cold water over it as you're pulling the leaves off. It just stops them tearing up a little bit as well. So that will get you going as well. So let's get started, shall we? So we're going to start. So I told you we need about a 2 centimetre piece of ginger. So I'm just going to pop that in. And then a couple of garlic cloves. Now, of course, if you want it more garlicky, add more garlic cloves. If you want it to be you know, higher in the chilli factor and you really like the hot food, then absolutely you can add more chilli to that as well. And I know Rose showed you a really good trick last week about cutting your garlic in half to pull out that little annoying germ in the middle, which apparently is what is the part that annoys people that say they can't eat garlic. Apparently that's it, so we're going with that. So we're going to pop those couple of garlic cloves in there as well. So it makes it really easy to peel too when you can get that little germ out. So I'll pop those in. Normally I've done all this, but I thought we could do it together tonight. Okay, so that, as you can see, peels off really, really easily. We can pull out that little centre. And then we're going to move on to our chilli. Now, like I said, if you want it to be really hot, then feel free to add more than 1 chilli. I think I might have said 1 to 2 in the recipe. If you're really game, then use bird's eye chilli, but I'm leaving you on your own with that. That's not me. And with our chilli, I do like to de-seed it because I do find that the more seeds that you put in there as well, the hotter it tends to be. So I just tend to cut that in half, and then you can get the seeds out really, really easily. But don't be too fussed. If there's a couple of seeds in there, it's not going to kill you, hopefully. It won't be too hot. But we'll pop that in there. Nice and simple. Now I'm also going to tell you, so the shallots that I'm using tonight have actually come from the garden. So what we do is if you ever buy shallots, now we all call them different, the eschalots, the spring onions, depending on where you live, depends on the name of them. But here we're calling these shallots. And what I do is whenever I buy a bunch of shallots from the grocery store, and I have to shout out to my 13-year-old that taught me this, we just cut the end off and then replant that straight into the soil. And honestly, if I could zoom out there right now and show you how many of these we have growing, and it's all just from the ends from the shallots we buy from the supermarket, and they just keep growing. So I just pull off what I need. So we're just going to chop those into some nice chunks there to pop in there. But super, super easy to grow these yourself. So I've not got a green thumb at all. But let me tell you, this is a really great way to be able to make it look like you can grow things. So we're going to pop that in there. And that is all of that. So then we're going to just pop our lid on. And we're just going to use the pulse button. Okay, are we ready? So you can do this as thick or chunky as you like. But now I just realised I need to get my cameraman to get my spatula out of the drawer for me. Watch her go and not trip over anything. Thanks. Can she get away with not being caught on camera? Nice move. See, look at that. So I'm just going to scrape down the sides and just have a look. But I do want to go a little bit more. But again, like I said, it's completely up to you. If you want it a little chunkier, then absolutely feel free. But I don't. I want it a little bit finer than that. So I'm just going to toss it again. Beautiful. So if you want to come in and have a look at that, I'm quite happy with that. So you can see in and oh my gosh, if you're doing this along with me, please type in there now how amazing this smells, because it is to die for. So we've got those beautiful onion, that garlic, that ginger. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to empty it into, oh, sorry, I shouldn't have tapped because it'll be really noisy for you. But I'm going to empty it into our stainless steel bowl, because in a minute we're going to get that stainless steel bowl onto our base and we're going to get cooking on that. Now a few people have asked me to do the stir fry menu, which is what I'm going to do tonight. If your machine hasn't been upgraded and you don't have stir fry, it's okay. Just go to Expert and follow the same temperature, the same speed and everything, and we'll get you through it. So it's not a big deal. If you haven't done it, jump on the website, have a look, download it onto a USB. If you have any trouble trying to download it or get it uploaded, our customer service girls are amazing, and they will certainly be able to help you with that. Okay, so I'm just going to pop away my mini bowl, and now I'm going to pop in the large blade into my large bowl in my food pro. Now I'm just going to, bear with me, get rid of this rubbish. Should have been next to me, might have been easier, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do is, as I said, you could decide on what it is you wanted to do tonight. So I'm going with the chicken, and I'm doing a chicken version of the San Choy Bau. But what I need to do is I need to mince that. Now you might like your chicken a little bit chunky, you might not like your chicken to be like mince. Rather than buying chicken mince, this is a much cheaper way to do chicken. So this is just by buying the breast. And all I'm going to do is just dice that. So if you want to come in just to have a look, but all I'm doing is I'm just dicing it into chunks. Okay, so you can see that. Beautiful. So you can do this along with me. And then I'm just going to throw that straight into our food pro. Food processor is an amazing thing to do, amazing machine to use when you're doing things like mincing. So whether you're doing beef or pork or chicken, it's a really great way to be able to mince your meat. You can't always, sometimes you can't get the mince, the mince of whatever protein it is you're after. So it's really easy just to buy the fillet and do it yourself, or the, you know, whatever, whether it's thigh fillet with the chicken or breast fillet, it's completely up to you. Okay, beautiful. So now, again, we're going to use the pulse button, because the pulse button means that we have a little bit of control and you can decide how chopped that you want that chicken. So let's just... So like I said, if I hold that button down, it will mince it in seconds. But I just want to have a little bit of extra chicken in that chicken. And to me, I think that I'm going to be happy with that. Okay, so if you want to come in, you can see there wasn't a lot of pulsing that I had to do to get that chicken out. It's probably, you might want it a little bit more minced, but feel free to keep chopping away if that's what you want to do. But I'm just going to leave it that little bit chunkier as we go. And we're going to get that ready to go. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to, so I've just pulled off the base for my food probe, and I'm actually now going to pop on my Cook Expert, my stainless steel bowl, okay? So it's a really quick recipe to be able to use the one base, but we can swap between the two bowls, which is really good as well. So I'll just set that chicken aside for a second, and what we're going to do first is we're going to fry up that garlic and that, the garlic, shallots, chilli and the ginger. And all I'm going to do is add a little bit of sesame oil, so about a teaspoon. And then we're going to add about a tablespoon of olive oil. And as I said, I'm actually going to use, I'm just going to get rid of that, sorry. I wet that one off again, so I'm just going to clean that one off. And we're going to use the stir fry mode. So the thing I love about the stir fry mode is how very quickly it heats up. So if we flick through here, we're going to go into cooking, and then we're going to flick across to our stir fry. Now, as I mentioned to you, I just realised that I have the wrong base, because I was meant to put the silver base on there, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So if you've got stir fry, go on to stir fry. It's honestly, it's fine. What I wanted to show you with stir fry is how very quickly it started to fry up. But that's okay. I've been making bread and all sorts of fun things. Do you know what I did today? And that's why this machine's here. So I did homemade Baileys. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. So that's something that you need to have a look at as well. So let's just pop that in there, and let's just change our mind. So if you do have stir fry, go to stir fry. And I want you, if you're going to stir fry, to do 110, no, it'll go into auto, leave it on auto, let it do it for you. And I think it comes in, we wanted 110 degrees on auto, and it's about 1 minute and 20 seconds that it's going to go for. So it might be actually good to see if Expert does it as quickly as what our stir fry would have done. So let's just go to a minute or 1 minute 30 on here. We're going to just go to 3 or auto if you're on stir fry, and then we're going to go up to 110 degrees. Beautiful. Okay, so then we're going to pop that in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cap off, because I want to show you how quickly it starts to steam. If you're using your stir fry mode, I want you to put down for me as soon as it starts to do, as soon as you can start to see the steam, because I really want to see the difference between Expert and through stir fry as well. So a good experiment for us tonight. So we've got that just going along, and we're going to wait and see how quickly we can see that steam. And if you're doing this along with this, you're going to start to smell how amazing this is going to smell. So we'll let that go. Just going to grab a new chopping board. Oh, can we see steam? Oh, I started to see steam. Yeah, I can. Okay, so what are we at? So we are steaming in 40 seconds. So let us know what you noticed when you were using your stir fry mode, and whether it was very different to the 40 seconds that we just got out of that. Can you start to hear that? Can you? Let me see if I can put my microphone up there and you can hear this. you hear it? That is frying. How amazing is that? I hope that you can hear that, because how amazing does it sound? It's like using a fry pan, and you're never going to get a fry pan frying that quickly, so amazing. So we've only got 15 seconds left to go, and we've got that chicken ready to go. Or your pork. Let us know also what you decided to use, whether you were using pork. You could use a mixture of pork and veal. You could use, like I said, the green prawn meat. I probably wouldn't mince it that much. I'd keep it kind of nice and a little bit chunkier. But anything that you could use in there. Wow. I hope you are all smelling what's going on in your kitchen right now. Do you want to come and have a look at this? You need to look at this. How amazing does that look? Okay, so we're ready to go, and now I'm going to pop in our chicken. Okay. I'll pop that in. The neighbours have started knocking on the door. I think they can smell that. They're like, what is that? Okay, we've got that ready to go. So now what we're going to do, again, if you've got your stir fry mode, keep it on 110, pop it onto 2A. So 2A stirs every sort of, I think it's 15 seconds for about 15 seconds. So that's what you want. You don't want it sitting completely still, but you don't want it constantly stirring either, because we want it to be that little bit sort of, you know, we don't want to mince it up completely. So we're going to go down to 2A. It's really difficult looking over the top. It's easier on the show. Okay, and then we're going to go for 4 minutes. It's amazing how quickly, and we're going to watch it, because it depends on how small you chopped your chicken as to how quickly it's going to go for you as well. And we're on 210 degrees. Now I'm going to pop that top back on, and we're going to go again. So what we're going to do in the meantime is I'm actually going to get you to get out your water chestnuts. So you can see this is just one that I buy in the Asian aisle at the supermarket, and they're just some diced little sort of water chestnuts. So all I'm going to do is pop those out, and I'm going to just chop those a little bit roughly. They don't have to be anything special. And then the other thing I've done, and that I've added, and again, if you don't like them, don't add them, it's completely up to you. But I always add some corn stems into my recipe as well. So you can buy the baby corn stems like that, and then we're just going to chop them into, so if you want to come and have a look, you can see they're not terribly small, but they're not, you know, huge sort of pieces. But we're just chopping those up, and they're going to go into our mixture as well. Now, the other thing I've worked out is really amazing to do. If you've got leftover mixture, you can actually freeze it, but it makes amazing Thai chicken burgers. So if you wanted to do, you know, add some sweet chili sauce, whatever you want to add to a Thai chili, to a Thai burger, these make really nice Thai chili patties. So another thing to use if you've got leftovers, because this does make quite a lot by the time we add our rice and we add our corn stems and everything else that we're going to add to it as well, which we're going to add in just a minute. Oh, it's making me really hungry. It smells amazing. Okay, so the other thing too is because we've got amazing instant heat with our induction heating, it just means that we can get things cooked a lot quicker than any other way. So, you know, any other thermal cooking, it does not sort of heat as quickly as we do because we're instant heat. One of the other things we've been testing lately is the 63-degree egg. Now, if you've never done it, and you're like me, so I get out of bed and I don't want to eat straight away, so I'm happy to wait an hour. But you pop your eggs into the machine in water, so about 1 litre of water. Before you pop your eggs in, heat your water to 63 degrees for 5 minutes. After the 5 minutes, pop in 3, 4, however many eggs you need to do, into the water and set it for 63 degrees for an hour. Oh my goodness, honestly, they are the best thing that you can eat for breakfast. They are amazing. I really challenge you to do it. All I do when I shell them is I take the top of the shell off and then just tip the egg, and the whole egg comes out perfectly onto your bread, your toast, your however you're eating it. That's a really, really, really yummy one to be able to do in here as well. So we're down to just a minute. I'm just going to have a little look. Oh, looking amazing. So our chicken's not going to be perfectly cooked once we've done this stage, but then we're going to add in our rice. So if you've got your rice ready to go, we're also going to add in then our corn stems and our chestnuts. So I'm just going to rinse my spatula. Ready to go again. So tell me how amazing it's smelling in your kitchen right now, and how many of your neighbours are knocking on the door, because it does smell divine. So we're down to just 30 seconds. Let me get rid of some of this rubbish. Okay, so at the end, I want you to have ready some soy sauce. So 2 tablespoons of soy, 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, and 2 tablespoons of lime juice. So whether you use fresh lime juice or out of a bottle, that's okay as well. So we're going to add that in. And what's really yummy when you eat these is some hoisin sauce over the top. So if you've got hoisin sauce, we did mention that in the recipe as well. So if you want to come in now and see how far advanced we are with our cooking, and just how beautiful and pretty this looks. So you can see that. I just wish you could smell this. Okay, so we're probably probably more than halfway cooked with our chicken. But again, it just depends on how large the slices were that you did. So now I'm going to add in my rice. So I've got our rice in. We're going to add in the chestnuts and the corn stems. Okay, now I am just going to give that just a slight little, oh, I can still hear that chicken sizzling. I'm just going to give that just a slight little nudge there. I'm going, is that rain? It's raining in Sydney, by the way. It's actually really nice after all those hot days we've had. Okay, so now we're going to put it on all over again, exactly the same, but this time I'm only going to do it for a couple of minutes. So this is a really, really quick recipe. What I like about this recipe too is that it's something that you've got most of the ingredients in the household. So you don't have to run out and buy a lot of ingredients. So, you know, I always have the oyster sauce, soy sauce, lime juice, those sorts of things. You know, chicken's something quite often we have in the freezer, so it's nice and easy as well. And, you know, your lettuce, all those things, they're really, really simple to be able to do as well. You could add all sorts of things in here if you wanted to add some mushrooms in there, if you wanted to add just anything you can think of that you think would be nice in a San Choy Bau. Little champignon mushrooms would actually be really nice in here. So yeah, so lots of different ideas and things that you can do. But a really lovely meal to be able to do in winter or summer. So summer's great because you've got your beautiful healthy lettuce. And like I said, you can make those beautiful Thai chicken patties with the leftovers with this as well. So as I mentioned, when you're trying to get your iceberg lettuce leaves off, cut the bottom of it off, and then run it under cold water, and the leaves will start to fall off really easily themselves. So we've got some cups there ready to go. Smells amazing. Okay, we've got about 48 seconds left. So don't forget, if you've missed anything or you've got some questions, you know, feel free to jump on there. Let Rose know if you've missed a step, but again, we'll put everything up for you later. I've also got some bean sprouts. So bean sprouts you can buy in a can, but I do like to buy them out of the bag in, you know, your local supermarket. I've also got some coriander. Now the rule with coriander is you either love it or you hate it. If you don't like it, you're not into it, you don't need to put it in, it's okay. I use the coriander to stir through the mix, but then I also add as I'm doing my lettuce leaf as well. So, you know, too much is never enough for me. So you might not want to follow my lead on how much coriander I'm going to put in there. But we're nearly there. We've got 2 seconds. Oh my gosh, this is just such a quick recipe. And it's all about having everything ready and just, you know, getting everything. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. So now I want you to add in, and you can see the steam coming out of that as well. So I'm just going to give that a little stir, and I'm going to pop in now those 3 sauces. So the soy sauce, the oyster sauce, and the lime juice as well. And you'll see the colour change when we put all this in. So, oyster sauce at the bottom. And if you've got hoisin sauce for serving, amazing. So I'll pop that in. Don't need to really give that too much of a stir because we'll get the machine to do that. I always like to just give it a little stir around. We'll pop on our cover again, and we're just going to go for a minute on exactly the same. So we've got our 2A, 110 degrees, and we're just going to stir that sauce through for a minute, and then I'm going to have my coriander ready. And here comes the pouring rain, so hopefully you can still hear me. So we're going to pop that, chop up some of that coriander, and as I said, if you want more coriander for the top, or you want to, stir it all through, it's completely up to you. Like I said, there's no such thing as too much coriander. I love it. We've got that all mixed through beautifully, and we've got, look at that, 20 seconds to go. So this is a really great one because you got to see the food processor, and then you also got to see us using the mini bowl, then using the large bowl when we did the chicken. So hopefully, there's some extra things that you'll start doing with your food pro, because I know you kind of either tend to use one more than the other. So to really get that balance of using both machines is amazing. If you've got questions, like I say, keep asking. And we've got, oh my goodness, it's amazing. Maybe I need to call into the office tomorrow. I think they'd love that. Okay, so if you want to come in and have a little look, you can see we've got our beautiful chunks of our corn stems in there still. We've got our chilli. You can see the shallots through there, the rice, everything in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some bean sprouts, okay? And I'm just going to add half that coriander when you're all not looking. I'll add all of it. But what I do at this stage is I just like to give it a gentle stir, okay? We don't need to, there's no need to sort of pop the machine back on. I really love when you're eating it that you've got those beautiful bean scraps in there that are nice and whole as well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to plate that up. If you wanted to add more chilli, you can add more fresh chilli over the top. You can do anything, like there are absolutely no rules. And I'm going to pop it in. Oh, which one's easier? This one's probably easier for you to see. But I'm going to pop that in. Like so. If you want to come in and have a little look, I'm just while you're looking at that, I'm going to grab some Hoisin Sauce. So then I would just add a little drizzle. I probably put too much in there because I tend to do that. But a little drizzle of the Hoisin sauce over the top. And there you go. An absolutely amazing, super quick, easy chicken San Choy Bau. I hope you enjoy it because it is really something that I've always loved doing this dish, and I do it in summer, I do it in winter, it really doesn't matter. Try those Thai chicken patties as well, honestly. You'll be like, I'm never eating anything on a burger ever again besides this. And you'll love it, you'll absolutely love it. You can add more chilli, as I said, you can add more garlic, anything that you want to do with this dish you can certainly do, which makes it a really great, easy dish to eat as well. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's cook-along. I'm just looking going, oh my gosh, we've done that in 30 minutes. Like, that's pretty amazing. It's all about the prep behind, and the prep was really quick with this one as well, getting everything ready, because we chopped most things together as well, which was great. So, my question to you tonight, because I know how much you all love a bit of competition, and you all love to be winning these beautiful cookbooks that we have. So my question to you tonight is, what kind of heating do we use with our beautiful Cook Expert machine? So thank you so much. Bon appetit. Hope you all enjoyed tonight, and looking forward to seeing you again soon.